Now, the National Health Department has condemned protests by Operation Dudula and other civic groups targeting healthcare facilities. It follows demonstrations where protesters blocked access to services based on nationality and documentation status. The 3 Operation Dudula members were released on free bail today after storming the Lilian Ngoyi Clinic in Diepkloof, Soweto, after questioning patients about their nationality and demanding identity documents. Now, to discuss this matter further, we're joined by Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi. A very good evening to you, Dr. Motsoaledi. Thank you so much for your time. I know that you've condemned protests by Operation Dudula and other civic groups targeting healthcare facilities, but on the other hand, the movements have vowed to continue questioning patients about their nationality and demanding identity documents. What is your stance on the position? What is your position on that stance? Because they're saying that they're going to continue.
Well, Paul, I met Operation Dudula yesterday. We met for about 3 hours. I took them through this whole process of immigration. And I told them they might be solving what looks like a legitimate problem, but using wrong means. Because in health, we treat everybody who enters there who is sick. And they can't expect us to chase people away when they are sick. Whatever the circumstances of their nationality is just not allowed in healthcare anyway. And they must not confuse issues. There is this belief, Mpo, that healthcare is free in South Africa, but not in any other country in the world. And I want to correct that. Healthcare is free for children under 6 and young women. That was declared by our founding president, Nelson Mandela, in 1995, I think. Yes, so we only offer free health care for pregnant women and children under 6 of whatever nationality. The other people are not offered free health care. They are charged, but the problem is, if you come to hospital without money and there's an emergency, there is no way you won't be treated, because then the Department of Health will be sued. It will be litigated in a way unimaginable. They then proposed to me that because doctors and nurses have signed an oath, have taken an oath of office, and they are forced by the oath to treat everybody. The clerks in the hospital did not take an oath of office. We must instruct them not to give anybody a fine if such a person does not have documentation. This was my response to them. First, yes, I responded to them in 2 ways. Number one, and I want the country to know that on the issue of civil registration and vital statistics, it is a problem in the whole African continent. Many African countries have not been able to register all their people. In fact, according to the statistics we have, the country that is far ahead of registering its citizens is Egypt. It has registered its citizens 98%, which means 92% of Egyptians don't have any documentation whatsoever. In South Africa, we are at 89% documentation, which means 11% of South Africans are not documented. If you look at our population, 11% will be about 6 million people. They don't have any form of document, but they are not illegal because they are in their country. They are South Africans, but they've got no document, nothing whatsoever. They don't appear in any database. And I think the prime example you may remember is Thabo Bester. And we found that most of his relatives were not registered. So I said, if you do it the way you are doing it, you are going to turn away many South Africans who are legitimately South Africans but do not have any documents. Having worked in Home Affairs, I met such people. I met people who are 64, 65, who are South Africans but they've never had any document.
Yeah.
So I said they must be very careful exactly what they are doing. Secondly, I said, if we instruct the clerks not to give anybody a fine, and they go out and die, you are going to be sued. Imagine a pregnant woman who gets into a hospital refuse to be seen, go out and deliver a baby in the street. And I'm sure you know that that has happened many times and we are attacked. So I warned them about those things, and they said, now, do we just fold our arms and do nothing? I said, no. As a country, we are not saying we must do nothing. You remember, Mpo, when I was in Home Affairs, firstly, I launched the Border Management Authority to try and make the border safer. Secondly, I reviewed all the immigration laws and drew a new white paper on immigration, if you remember. A white paper in which I proposed that we need to repeal the Citizenship Act, the Identification Act, the Refugee Act, and the Immigration Act, and start them from the beginning, because there are quite a number of mistakes there. So I said the route they are following is a law of the jungle.
Minister, if you'll allow me, just for the sake of time, I mean, on one end, we're dealing with a human rights violation issue, and then on the other hand, is an indication of a much, much deeper issue, perhaps misguided frustrations of South Africans living in a country where they feel that their own dignity and humanity is undermined as you talk to some of these pressing concerns, because it seems to be a collective anger that needs to be directed and leveraged. How are you going to do this? Because it seems that even after your meeting, these questions will continue, because this is something that cannot be discussed and with no proper conclusion, with no proper direction on where to from now.
Well, there is a proper conclusion. It's just that they didn't take it. I told them there's no way us in health can identify people as illegal simply because they've got no documentation. And I gave you the stats. I hope you understand that. That us in health have got no way, there's no way, even Operation Dudula has got no way of knowing who is a foreign national or who is an illegal immigrant. Only Home Affairs can know that, not us. So they shouldn't expect us in health to become Home Affairs officials. We don't even have that capacity and the skill. So I said, in solving their problem, they shouldn't really come to health. But secondly, I told them that I advised them that problems are solved through the laws, because we can't be a law of the jungle in our country. And that's why I give them example of the laws. And I even complained, when I was in Home Affairs, Operation Dudula used to march there many times.
Yeah.
They never went to health. When I'm in health, they are now coming to health. As if all these issues of immigration has to be solved by me. So I told them that we have got no option, because we don't have the capacity nor knowledge. We'll always call police when something like this happens. And anybody who enters the hospital yard, we'll have to treat that person.
Yeah.
We can't, as health, send them away as they were demanding. But
Minister,
when they stop them in the streets, it's also not us in health, because we don't have that capacity. It's an issue of law enforcement, not ours.
Just on that point, with you having been Home Affairs Minister, perhaps let's veer to a different direction. What is your reaction to the tensions which flared in Germiston with the torching of the Home Affairs building? I mean, the CBD turned into a scene of chaos.
Well, those are some of the things that I was giving as an example. I understand. I just heard from now on the media. It's not that I know facts. I understand that they banned the office because they were protesting against something, which also should not happen. And when you ban a Home Affairs office, you are banning information, identification, and the history of the country. And it's going to cause more chaos in future, because the people whose documents are being banned may not actually get their documents back, and they are South Africans, then they can come and call them illegal immigrants. It's not fair that when we are angry as South Africans, we start destroying ourselves in this manner, because we are really destroying ourselves.
Okay, Minister, we are unfortunately out of time and have to let this one go. But I think, the discussion needs to continue, because there is no solution in end. But we do thank you for your time.